There we go. Right aboard.
Start your engines! Rapid engine, speedway bound. Chris and Corey breaking it down. NASCAR news, reviews, and more. Get ready for the Speedway reviews roll. Fast lane, fueled up, let's roll. The Speedway review where the legends unfold. Braylon's picks, the insider's view.
Snoopy.
Let's ride the NASCAR crew. From the track to the garage door, the Speedway review where the legends unfold. Braylon's picks, the insider's view. Tune in, let's ride the NASCAR crew. From the track to the garage door, the Speedway review, it's time to explore. Get loud, get proud, let's speed away. The Speedway review, every episode's a thrill ride day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Corey Huffnagel, Chris Burns, and the
Huffnagel.
mighty Schmoopy, the one and only Braylon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready. It's another
Um,
season.
Nice, Corey. You figured out how to make it stop immediately. Good job, my man. I didn't show you that, but you figured it out. Good for you.
It's
Thank
what you didn't. It's what you didn't expect this week, and he's only here for a short time, but he's here for a good time. Welcome back, everybody, to the Speedway Review as the 2026 season has kicked off. We're going to talk about Bowman Gray Stadium. We're going to talk about what we think is going to go on in the Daytona 500. We're going to talk about a lot of things. But first, I have to say, welcome to Speedway Review. My name is Chris Burns. With me, as always, co-host, co-founder, and by God, a damn handsome man. Please welcome Stat Boy himself, Mr. Corey Huffnagel.
What is going on, everybody? Happy 2026 and happy start to the NASCAR season. We are looking forward to another year of racing, and of course, we are looking forward to going down to Daytona this weekend. And of course, all three series kick off this weekend. And of course, you have the Daytona 500 coming up on Sunday. And boy, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and looking forward to seeing what this new year is going to unfold.
There's going to be horsepower. There's going to be craziness. It's going to be a human zoo. We're going to have fun with it. But ladies and gentlemen, what you did not expect for the beginning portion of the show, the former producer extraordinaire, the current man with no hair, and a man who just 90 minutes ago dressed like Adrian Adonis from the WWE circa 1987. He's got the wig to prove it. Please welcome our friend, Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up, everybody? I am only here to make sure I was checking in on a few things production-wise. Corey is more than capable of handling everything. Surprised me with a couple of things he already figured out. I just wanted to make sure that tonight's show was handed off and got under a good start, and I am going to back out. I'm not going to stay here forever.
Before you leave.
So that
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
when I come back next time, it's even that much more sweet. But I'm going to let these two gentlemen above me run their shit and do their thing.
Before you leave, and I want you to stay for this. I'm still not okay with you not being a part of the show. But that's not the only thing I'm upset about. So, Corey, you hit the button for the angriest 3 minutes in motorsports. I bring you burning down the house.
Okay.
You know how to do it?
Well, he's about to learn.
You go over to video on the left.
Yep.
And then you hit the one that says burning down the house, and it'll play.
Okay.
Here we
Video,
go.
right?
Yep. Hit it.
Okay.
Or don't hit it, whatever you want to do.
I mean, I don't see it on here. I mean, I'm just looking. Oh, wait a
over
minute.
on the left.
Oh, wait.
Say video.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Duh. We lost our branding, but we got some dysfunction gimmick going on here.
All right. We got
That's all right.
It says video, not you were in design. You're looking for video. That's that's the button underneath it.
This is the longest intro I've ever done.
Yeah, the long. I know. Yeah, now I'm just trying to find where it is, and yeah, sorry if it's taking this long to do the intro, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all right. I brushed my teeth and showered for this. It's okay.
All right.
Right.
So Corey, left-hand side of the screen.
Left hand.
It should say chat.
Yep.
It should say what's
Video.
on the chat.
Okay, so and it's on chat, right?
Well, I'm asking, what do you see on that column on the right-hand side of your screen?
Yeah, I got
say chat. What's the thing underneath it?
Video.
Okay. Yeah, video. That's where I
All right.
clicked on it.
So click on that. My nigga.
Thank
All
you.
right. For the sake of argument, because it didn't come through except for the last piece, can you play that video one more time? I'm going to say this right now before we get into anything. I didn't watch the race live. I avoided the race live. But in the spirit of doing this show, I did watch it back. And if NASCAR thinks that this abortion baby of a race was in any way good, they have another thing coming.
Test
Yes.
tube babies.
I understand that this polar vortex that ripped the East Coast from Miami to Maine caused sub-zero temperatures in a lot of places. And for my friend in Miami who told me, I walked my dog today, it was 34 degrees. I'm like, oh, you got lucky. It's -2 here. I understand that this happens once every 50 to 60 years, but NASCAR, there's a reason you put these races at a place where there is no effing snow or sleet or anything. North Carolina is not that place. I pause and I give my time to the gentleman from Colorado.
For 5 seconds. 1989 was the last time that Daytona Beach even saw snow that didn't
Correct.
stick to the ground.
Correct. And that was in January, not February, when the race happens. What I'm saying to you, NASCAR, if anybody from NASCAR is watching this, if any of you know someone who works for NASCAR, send them this video. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I understood moving the race to the West Coast. I understood giving the Coliseum a race or two. But here's the problem with the Coliseum. You spend millions of dollars to build a racetrack only to spend millions of dollars to tear it down. Why? Is there not a track in California that has weekly racing that you could run on? Second, why are we running these 850 horsepower cars on a quarter-mile track? It's garbage. These cars are built for speed. And before somebody says, well, you know, Bristol's only a half mile. Yes, it is. But Bristol is high banked, flat straightaways. It's amazing. People love Bristol. You know what people don't like? Bumper cars. It's fun when you're 12. It's not fun when you're running a multi-million-dollar machine and trying to get ready for the season that is about to come. This is garbage. NASCAR, stop the crap. Bowman Gray, great idea. It's the madhouse. But you know what it's the madhouse for? Late models, SKs, open wheels, winged outlaws. It's not built for the top series in NASCAR. And if you have any brains in your head or any nuts up underneath that skirt, because it's 2026, I have to be honest. If you have any nuts up underneath that skirt, you will change it and you will put the Clash back at Daytona where we all loved it. We didn't like it. We didn't dislike it. We loved the Clash at Daytona. My name is Chris Burns, and that's my opinion.
Bravo.
And in our 9th season, it's appropriate that we start with burning down the house because, quite frankly, the abortion baby of a race that we all saw was trash.
Yep.
Agreed.
That's the hill I'm willing to die on. The hell, Hermes in this one too. Why does he look like something out of the Playboy Mansion?
Because I am, bitch.
Drew was a guest on Dysfunction Junction just a little while ago. Go watch that back. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. We did questions from the hat, and we had fun.
Yo, it was a great show.
Except
gentlemen,
every
I'm
question
not gonna
Herm asked was Bad Bunny.
I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I am going to come back later and watch this. It'll be awesome. I just wanted to make sure everybody was good and the pass off was good. And I will see everybody later.
Yes.
Tell Braylon I said hey, and
Will do.
Hey,
did you get your gimmick in the mail yet?
Not yet. I will come back as soon as I get it in the mail, and we'll do a thing.
All right, go take care of business. Thank you, Herm. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll talk to you
Gentlemen,
soon.
love you. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
All right, later, brother.
Later.
So now that we've gotten that out of the way, Corey, how did you see the race?
So watching the race on Wednesday, of course, the first 100 laps was fun and all that, and of course, there was some side by side racing and everything else in between, and then of course, here comes the rain / freezing rain, sleet whatsoever, and
Yep.
then this is what I thought to myself: okay, so what does NASCAR do if it's in a freezing rain sleet situation? Of course, we went on to the wet weather tires. So I said, all right, let's see how this experiment plays out. And of course, there were some drivers that were slipping and sliding just a bit, and then you had caution after caution that came out. And what was really funny about this was that I saw a statistic that there was 143 green flag laps run, and there was 165 caution laps run. And I'm thinking to myself, for 200 laps, on a tight oval or a tight short track or whatever it is, like I've never seen anything like that. But I will say this though, really happy that Ryan Preece ended up winning the race on Wednesday. And I gotta tell you, that kid drove a heck of a race. I'd probably say like within the last 40 laps or whatever it is and so forth. He pretty much made it look easy, like as if he was driving in the modifieds at like either Seekonk or Stafford or Waterford or New Hampshire,
Thompson, Waterford,
or Thompson, what have you. And I have a feeling that I think, and I'm not going to be surprised, that Ryan Preece could definitely have a breakout year this season. And the way that I've seen in that 60 car, yeah, I mean, of course, we did run the Clash race on Saturday night, which was good and a good win for him as well.
No, they ran it on, was it Tuesday night, Wednesday night?
Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
One thing before I go, branding is not in the center. I don't know how you fix that, but I see a blank square. We're learning.
Right.
Corey's taken over the reins of the show. We got to get branding back, but regardless,
yes.
To your point about Preece, yes, in those last 40 laps, he went from 11th to 1st. And on a short track, that's kind of hard to do.
Right.
But again, you're talking about a guy who ran the Seekonks, the Thompsons, the Staffords, these quarter miles, third miles, yada, yada, yada. He's got the sauce. And if you watch him last year, and we said it toward the end of last year, Ryan Preece is going to be a contender going forward. And I think this is the year that we're going to see Ryan Preece find his way into the playoffs. Not quite sure what you're doing. Everything is moved.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the logo screen back on the show.
I got you. The Herm bubble is still there, even though he backed out. So, guys, this is a work in progress. Corey's learning on the fly as we go along. There we go. There's one, and now we get two, and we'll move forward until Schmoop arrives, because I'm sure she has something to say about everything. Again, these experiments since COVID have not, how do I put this? They don't bear fruit. Okay. They tried the Coliseum. Big failure to me. They tried Bowman Gray, big failure. There's a part of me that wants to see this on a track where there's an actual pit road, where if something happens, you go down, you get service, much like you see on TV, much like you see if you go to your favorite NASCAR track and see the Cup guys in action. Why don't we see this? This is a failed experiment. Bring it back to Daytona. Or, you know who didn't have a polar vortex this year? Texas. Put it at Texas. Put the Clash at Phoenix. Or do what I recommended. The branding is still not there. I understand. Put the
Still working on
Clash
it.
back at Daytona. You know why? Because the Clash worked at Daytona. People got excited for it. I couldn't tell you more than 5 people who were excited about the Clash going to Los Angeles. And recently, other than Corey, he was excited about Bowman Gray. And I had a bit of excitement for Bowman Gray. It wasn't exciting. The last 4 years have been trash. Bring the Clash somewhere where we can have exciting racing. There you go, my man.
Ta-da.
Bring the Clash back to somewhere that we get exciting action. Because if you're a NASCAR fan, Bowman Gray this year did not have action, weather notwithstanding. The Clash at Los Angeles did not have action. Put it somewhere with A, warm weather, and B, a track that can handle the Cup cars that are built for speed and not single file or bumper car bullshit. That's just me. And I'll die on that hill. I will seriously die on that hill.
Or another track that I could possibly see have the Clash. Why not do Homestead? Or probably not.
Homestead wouldn't be bad. Unfortunately, with this year's polar vortex, as I mentioned earlier, my friend who lives down there said that they had 34-degree temperatures last week. I didn't ask what it was the day of the Clash. Maybe I should have in regard to research for this show. But knowing that a week ago when she took her dogs out, that it was 34 degrees, yeah, that's a problem. But it's an anomaly in Florida. I lived in Florida. In February, when I lived there, it was 65, 70 degrees in February.
Right.
Good. This was an anomaly. Even my mother said, hey, we got where she is in north central Florida. Yeah, it got down to like 45 degrees. I'm like, that'd be great for racing. Why not? The track heat will take care of everything. Everybody buys a sweatshirt at the gimmick stand. Great. More money, more money, more money. What we got at Bowman Gray was terrible. And that's where I'm going to go with this. It was garbage from start to finish. Last year, you heard me say it, it was passable. I enjoyed it for what it was. But these Cup cars with the extended horsepower, with the way these cars are built, these multi-million-dollar machines should not be running the same track that some local guy puts together and runs on a weekly basis. It's garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. And honestly, I will say this again too, is that, I really wish that, the Clash should have never left the Daytona, but and look, I understand, what NASCAR is trying to do. I mean, yeah, they're trying to do some new venues and, try to do some experimenting and all that. I mean, we had the Daytona road course one year, which I don't know why you would have a Clash race on the road course, but it's weird if
But
you
it was
think about
still
it.
Daytona.
Right. And it was a good finish too. I'm not gonna lie. But
Sure.
then you had the LA Coliseum, which, it had its moments and then ran its course. Now you have Bowman Gray Stadium, which of course, it's in North Carolina, A. B, it's close to the team shops, which it's good for the teams and everything and all that. And C, which of course, now with everything all refurbished and everything, NASCAR updated and everything. Yeah, I mean, we had a good race last year and we had a good race this past week. I mean, I wouldn't say like it was like too exciting, but all in all, like, it's fun. to start up the season, with the Clash race. But now the only question that I have is, where the Clash goes from here. And if we do have it again at Bowman Gray, I mean, we'll just have to see how year 3 goes. I mean, think about it this way. I mean, who would have thought we were going to have the All-Star race at Dover, which I don't think anybody was expecting, you know, Dover to host the All-Star race, the fact that it doesn't have lights and everything. But again, I'll be interested to see how that plays out. I mean, hopefully it'll be a great race.
I'm glad you
Go-
asked that because I
Right.
don't think we've covered that before. Having the All-Star race at Dover, I think, is phenomenal. First of all, late May, we have sunlight coming out the wazoo until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, give or take. It's really when it gets dark in late May.
Yeah.
If you start the All-Star race at 2 p.m., that sumbitch is over by 7,
hmm
give or take cautions and what have you, which we know everything's going to happen. But Dover is a driver's track. Drivers love Dover. I haven't heard one driver ever say, I don't like coming here. As opposed to like Pocono or Sonoma or Watkins Glen, there are certain drivers that say, I don't like coming here. Dover, nearly all of the drivers love going to Dover. And it's a track I've been to half a dozen times. It's a wonderful experience. The weather in late spring, early summer in Dover is phenomenal. So yeah, that's a great thing. But if you start the race earlier, the thing about the All-Star race that I've always disliked was it starts at 6 p.m. when they were running it at Charlotte because they have lights, or at Bristol because they have lights, or anywhere else that has a lighting system.
North Wilkesboro.
Exactly. If you do this year, which they are going to do, if you do the All-Star race at Dover, you start it early.
Yep.
Make sure you can get all the sunlight you can.
Yep.
I don't want to point back to a couple years ago. Oh my God, by my count, it's now 12 years ago. Martinsville, where they were worried about running out of sunlight and yada yada. And I think Jeff Gordon won that race.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was when he punched his ticket to Homestead, and that was his final year of him racing in the Cup Series for Hendrick. And also that was the race where Matt Kenseth intentionally took out Joey Logano.
We can argue about that too.
But
Does it matter to me? If anybody takes out Joey Logano, I'm happy unless he's on my fantasy team, which he is this year as he was last year. But again, if you give the fans what they want, and that's the thing, I don't think NASCAR is listening. If you look at football, you look at baseball, hell, you could go to a pseudo sport like professional wrestling. If you listen to the fans and you give them what they want, they are going to empty their wallets to see what you're putting out there, whether it's tickets to the show, whether it's swag from the website, no matter what it is, diecasts, etc. The fans vote with their wallets. And if you're not giving them what they want, you know what they're going to do? They're going to walk away. And the biggest thing I've heard in the last couple of years since the Clash started in LA, outside of Daytona, was this isn't what I like. Well, there's a reason why NASCAR is trying to find the magic that made them one of the most popular spectator sports from the early 90s when Days of Thunder came out till about 2004 when attendance started slipping. How do we fix this? Well, stop reinventing the wheel. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to always be about tradition. It doesn't have to always be about, well, we ran Rockingham back in the day. Great. Awesome. Rockingham was a fun track. But these other places are putting up millions of dollars, Kansas, Iowa, etc., to put on top flight cup races. And they're doing a great job. But then you have places like Pocono where it's like if I put a lawn chair right out here on 395 and that's Pocono, I'm watching traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of people love Pocono. That's fine. I'm not one of them. But these other places have given North Wilkesboro, who is back, by the way, and Rockingham, which I don't think will ever come back. They're Benjamin 608. Hello. Hi, Benjamin. How are you? In the
What's up, Ben?
comment section. Benjamin, tell us where you're from and who your favorite driver is, and we'll go further.
Absolutely.
Give the fans what they want. And I
Yes.
don't think that NASCAR has done that by and large over the last 10 to 15 years.
Right. And also, let's not forget, Rockingham is back for only O'Reilly and the Craftsman Truck Series and so forth. But then yet again, like, I just look at, the future of the sport, and my question is, where do we see it going from here on out? Yeah, I know we're bringing back the original 10 race chase, which, I think it's
That's
something
awesome.
that everybody wanted. And of course, now we don't have to do the whole knockout style playoff format. And I just want to say this, the whole win and you're in thing, I'm glad they got rid of that, which that was
Yes.
completely pointless.
It was
Anyways,
garbage. I am here. I'm from Ghana. Wow.
Ghana.
I want to
What?
know what this is about. Ghana's in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. This is about racing. This is about NASCAR. This is about speed and excitement, and two guys who met accidentally in
17.
2017 in the stands and started a show. So welcome, Benjamin. Thank you. If you get NASCAR over there, stay with us, subscribe to the show, and have some fun. This is awesome. Thank you, Ben. Benjamin.
Thank
I
you
don't.
so
I don't
much.
want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Benjamin.
really. I don't know if he wants to be called Ben or Benjamin, but hey, thank you for being here. We
Right.
love interaction. We'd love to talk to all of you. Haven't seen Fat Matt in a couple weeks. That's kind of driving me nuts. But anyway, the minute NASCAR stops reinventing the wheel and gives the people what they want, I think you're going to see a resurgence, because we've talked about it for almost, oh my God, 10 years now. This is our 9th season. The youth movement is real. The guy, back when we started, the youth movement was like Kyle Busch and a bunch of other guys like that. Now the youth movement is Blaney and Byron and Bowman, a bunch of other guys like that. You still have your veterans like Hamlin and Keselowski. It's a great mix, but the youth movement is real. Off the top of my head, I can think of last year watching Ty Gibbs be the bridesmaid but not the bride a couple times,
Yeah.
and really showing his stuff. We could talk about Carson Hocevar, Connor Zilic, Corey Heim. The youth movement is real.
I definitely agree.
And I want to know, because I have to run upstairs real quick. I'm going to ask you a question as we wait for the schmoop of all schmoops.
Schmoop.
If you could give 3 to 5 minutes, I won't be gone that long, but
Okay.
I'm going to give you a scenario. Corey Huffnagel, tomorrow, you are told, Corey, you run NASCAR. This is all your baby. I have 2 questions. What do you do about the Clash to bring the fans back? And what do you do with the All-Star race? Because not that I dislike Dover, but you've already heard my opinion. I'd like to hear yours. And when I come back, I mean, I don't have to, but I always said move the All-Star race track to track to track to track. Make it like the MLB All-Star game or the NBA All-Star game. What would you do going forward? You are now the head of NASCAR. What do you do to fix the Clash? And what do you do about the All-Star race? I will be right back.
All right. So I would probably say, for instance, so technically for me, I would be a traditional guy, and obviously, of course, I would bring the Clash back to Daytona. I would then have the format, as the original as it was back then, have only recent poll winners from the previous season. And then, of course, some recent guys that have won the Clash, the last few years, or probably like a 5-year window whatsoever, and so forth. And basically what I'm saying is, kind of eliminate the field, to what it was, back then, instead of having like, oh, I don't know, say probably like, a 28 car field or whatever. And then you have all this like last chance race and all that stuff and BS and so forth. And yeah, so Daytona, I definitely would have the Clash down there again. For the All Star race, man, it's a tough one because we've had it at Charlotte for so many years, and again, Charlotte, was also one hot night back in 1992, and of course, the first ever mile and a half racetrack to be run under the lights was basically Charlotte. I don't know. I mean, the All Star race, that's kind of a tough one for me. I would also want to bring it back to Charlotte. Probably I would say, one, hopefully we can get a good racing package, on the mile and a half racetracks. And again, this new car on the big tracks, we've seen some good racing, especially, when we go to like either Kansas or now Chicago, which we haven't run there yet, but that'll be interesting to see how that goes in July. But we got like Kansas, Atlanta, and then Texas, and then also probably I would say maybe Homestead or whatever, or Pocono or wherever we could go to. But yeah, so Charlotte would be one that I would like to run. I mean, I don't know if I want to do the whole rotating All-Star race every year. I mean, that's kind of the way how I see it. But other than that, I probably do it as the original, same as what I do for the Clash as well. But yeah, definitely, those are my kind of things I would do if I was NASCAR for a day or president whenever.
I can't wait to hear this back. When the All-Star race was run at Charlotte, I loved it. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely loved it. Then it moved to Bristol. Then it moved to Texas. I was okay with both of those.
Mm-hmm.
I think, especially where it's run the week before Memorial Day, it's warm just about everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you went, and I'll throw this one out there. I don't care if they took the All-Star race to the Milwaukee Mile.
Mm.
I don't care if they took the All-Star race to, say, Iowa. Or I know there's a track somewhere outside of Seattle that people have been clamoring. And if somebody in the comment section wants to chime in and tell me where that track is, that's fine. There's a track somewhere outside of Seattle that they say, this would be a great place. Herm has said for 2 years as a part of this show, Pikes Peak
Mm-hmm.
Raceway. I would love to see the Cup cars at Lime Rock. I would enjoy an all-star race in New Hampshire. Move it around, make it special. When it was at Charlotte, it was always special. But
Mm-hmm.
That's that. As far as the Clash, I didn't hear what you said. I'm looking forward to it. However, you got to do it in the warm weather. You cannot. Oh God, this hurts me because I wanted Bowman Gray to be successful. You know this. We talked about it last year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the possibility of having Arctic weather on race day, did you see, by the way, I just want to mention this because of the cold weather. Did you see how low the tire pressures were? They showed a close-up of Kyle Larson's car, and it looked like the tire was flat.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And, of course, because they thought, because it's a quarter-mile track and you're running 200 laps, and they all miscalculated fuel. That was garbage.
Yeah.
Fill the freaking car. Go the distance. Do your thing.
Absolutely.
That was just so garbage. I can't say enough bad things about what we saw this weekend. But in the spirit of the show, we're going to go through the running order. We're going to give you happy and sad. And that's what we're going to do. So Ryan Preece, we'll talk about him a little bit more. was your winner. William Byron was second. Ryan Blaney third. Daniel Suarez fourth. Denny Hamlin was fifth. Chase Briscoe was sixth. Austin Dillon, who I can never say a bad thing about, was seventh. Chris Buescher eighth. Ross Chastain was ninth. And Alex Bowman was 10th. Unlike when we do rundowns on other shows, I'm giving you the full rundown because there's only 23 cars. Here we go. Joey Logano was 11th. Josh Berry 12th. Christopher Bell was 13th. Ty Gibbs 16th. Carson Hocevar 17th. Kyle Larson 18th. Chase Elliott was 17th. Connor Zilic 18th. Did I say that wrong? Chase Elliott 17th. I'm sorry. Connor Zilic 18th. Kyle Busch 19th. SVG was 20th. Austin Cindric was 21st. Tyler Reddick 22nd. And all the way down in the BJ McLeod position was Bubba Wallace, who I accidentally traded for with Corey to give him a shot at this year's fantasy points. Obviously, you get to start. Give me a happy and a sad from the Clash.
Okay, so I probably would say my happy. I'm gonna go with Ryan Preece, which great job for that guy, and of course for wheeling that car, especially at the end. And I'd probably say my sad would have to be the guys that that got wrecked out during the other race on Wednesday, which turned into a Friday night short track race, which of course it was 165 laps full of caution, which that's probably the only sad I can think of.
Okay. I'm going to Hermit in his honor. I have 3 happies. Obviously, the first one goes to Ryan Preece. We've talked about this on this show for 3 years, maybe more. Ryan Preece is a wheelman. I think in the last 2 seasons, Ryan Preece has shown he has got the sauce to be the boss. I'm throwing it out there. Herm's not here to put it on the blotter, but I'm going to say this to you, and I want you to hold me accountable. Ryan Preece will be in the top 10 in points when we come to the chase.
Okay.
My second happy is William Byron. Obviously, ran a fantastic race all day long, started in the top 5, kept his position all race long. And of course, I'm a William Byron guy. The other one I want to mention for happy is Daniel Suarez in a new ride with Spire with the number 7 and is basically showing Trackhouse, you made a mistake. You should have stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to see how that plays out for my amigo going forward. My sad on this one is going to go to Kyle Larson, who finished 16th out of 23. And it's more of a sad to his crew rather than Kyle Larson himself, because they filled the car, as we've talked about, for X amount of racing, and they ran out of fuel. And I watched it back. When I watched, I'm thankful that I DVR'd the race. When he's pulled on the inside right before turn 3, and he's like, I'm out of fuel. Oh, can you get the opening of pit lane, or the modified pit lane that they did was right there. Can you fire it up and get to the opening? I can't even get the car fired. You failed.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Kyle Larson because Kyle Larson is a racer. Kyle Larson is competitive. Kyle Larson is a champion. And to have this be your first race out since hoisting that trophy in the air, that's gotta weigh heavy on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was hot garbage from top to bottom, in my opinion. So we're getting ready for what used to be called Speed Weeks. Now it's like Speed Week. We got the duels, the qualifying races on Thursday night. We're not going to talk about that because that plays itself out. We see where everybody's going to fall in Sunday. Let's talk about the truck race on Friday night. If any of you out there had Tony Stewart being at Daytona in a truck on your bingo card, you're lying, your breath stinks, and you don't love baby Jesus. I am excited to see TS back out there, T-Stew, rocking the house at Daytona, a place where he has run tremendously and he has had tremendous heartbreak at that track. But I honestly feel, and I said it a couple weeks ago when it was announced that Tony Stewart was going to run the truck race, it's not about who's going to win the race. To me, it's about who's going to finish second behind Tony Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you're looking at for the truck race this coming Friday.
So I'm looking at the entry list, and not only you got Tony that's running the 25 truck for the colleague Ram, truck series team, but it would be pretty cool though, not only if Tony, wins the pole for the race, but also, could you imagine, him winning the race and, the Ram truck team getting their first win with Tony? I mean, that would be, you know, you know, honestly, that would be a first, like a first for them. But not only that, it'd be a great way to kick off, 2026. Especially starting off your new team, for the truck series, and of course, a new manufacturer and whatnot. But so I'm looking at the entry list right here, and not only you got Tony that's running the race on Friday, but you also have a couple of Cup guys that are going to be running this race on Friday. Which of course you got Michael McDowell that's running the 7 truck for Spire. You got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. that's going to be in the 45 for Nice Motorsports. Carson Hocevar is going to be in the 77 truck for Spire this weekend. And then another guy that, who is possibly, could be, that Cinderella story dark horse guy or sleeper, whatever you want to call him, is Corey LaJoy driving the 75 truck for Henderson Racing. And of course, anytime you see the 75 truck roll around the track, we always think about Parker Kligerman. But who would have
Of course.
thought? But who would have thought? You have Corey LaJoy that's going to be running the 75, for Henderson. And honestly, I got to tell you what, not only I think Tony Stewart, could possibly be a factor, winning this race on Friday, but if he's gonna win the race on Friday, he's gonna have to beat guys, that are good on the restrictor plate tracks. And one guy that kind of stands out to me would definitely be McDowell, who's pretty good on the restrictor plates, and then of course, Stenhouse is pretty good as well. But then you want to look at the regulars though, because think about this though. Corey Haim's not in the truck series this year, and he's not running full time anywhere except the part time schedule for 2311. So who do I think is going to stick out to me this year?
Wait. Time out. Offsides clipping. Corey Haim, the reigning defending Truck Series champion, does not have a full time ride anywhere.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah. The only ride that he's doing right now is the part time gig for 2311.
They better be paying him well to run part time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, why do you think he's Toyota's hot prospect right now?
All I'm saying is, I just won a championship. Me, Chris Burns.
Yes.
Yay! Look at me, the 2025 champion. Hey, we want you to come drive for us part time. You better be paying this ass.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So looking at the regulars for this season, and of course, Corey Haim is not in the series this year, with no full-time ride whatsoever. One guy that I am going to be looking at this year is definitely going to be Caden Honeycutt. Now, he wasn't on my radar. Well, he wasn't on my radar, after he got let go from Nice Motorsports, and then of course when he was driving for Nice whatsoever. And then 7 for Stuart Friesen, having those great runs, going to the championship, and then not winning the title. I mean, I didn't even think he was going to take over the ride that Corey took over last season, winning like 10 races whatsoever. But not only I have him looking on my radar this season, but I also want to look at Lane Riggs. And I think this could possibly be the year that Lane could contend for the championship this year, now that Corey Haim's not in the series whatsoever. And we've seen what Lane can do on the short tracks and everywhere else. I mean, by God, the guy won freaking Pocono out of all tracks, which, you pretty much hate. But hey, you got to win there anyway. But, Corey Haim is definitely one that I'm going to, well, Corey Haim on the part-time side. But anyways, Lane Riggs will be one that I'm going to be looking for this year. Caden Honeycutt is one that I'm going to, hopefully, can pick up right where he left off, last season, especially the 11 team whatsoever. And then another guy that I would definitely, would want to keep my eye on this season would definitely be Ty Majeski. Now, you're going to see that 88 truck run around the track, all Menards colors whatsoever. The first thing you're going to see is, oh, look, it's Matt Crafton's scheme whatsoever. And then you see the name is like, oh, wait, that's right. Crafton retired last year. Now it's Ty Majeski that's taking over the reins of the 88. But I just look at this year, and honestly, it would not surprise me the most if Caden Honeycutt and Lane Briggs battle it out for the championship this year. And I think those are going to be the two guys that I think are going to be the ones to watch for. And quite possibly, I could throw in, say, Chandler Smith in the mix. I can throw in possibly, Gio, which of course he had his first win last year. Or hey, if anything, I'd like to throw in possibly, either Butterbean or Justin Haley. And by the way, if Tony's going to want to win the race on Friday night, don't be surprised if Justin Haley, is going to be competing, for the win on Friday, because we've seen what he's done on the super speedways the last few years. But I got to say this though, I think the trucks on Friday, it's going to be fun to watch. It'll be exciting, and I know you're going to have a lot of those young guys that don't have a lot of super speedway experience, so it's going to be interesting to see who they draft with. And and I gotta tell you, the trucks running on the super speedways, it puts me on the edge of my seat every single time because every time, like, when you see a truck sideways for like about a split second, I usually say to myself, like, how is that not a wreck? Or how is this not a wreck? Or that could have been a wreck. I mean, the truck series always puts on a pretty good show, whether on the supers or the short tracks, intermediates, whatsoever. But I think this race on Friday night, I'm looking forward to the most. And closing out, I will say this: I would not be surprised if we see Tony Stewart win this weekend.
I'm with you on the Tony Stewart part. The Lane Riggs, obviously, I'm a Lane Riggs fan, so I like what you said about him. But when you're talking about, watching the trucks on a super or even an intermediate where the back end gets squirrely, and how does this not end in a tumultuous wreck? I think it's because of the way the trucks are built, weighted, and spoilered, that you have that long back end like a pickup truck, and it pushes that vehicle back to the ground a lot more than it does a Cup car or an O'Reilly car. It's going to be, by the way, talking about the former Xfinity series. It took me a long
Yeah.
time to stop calling them Busch cars. It took me a long time to stop calling them Nationwide cars. Then they were Xfinity cars. You guys are going to have to give me a break going forward when I talk about the second tier series. But I did good right here. When you look at a Cup car or an O'Reilly car, the ass end doesn't get as much push down and weight. How do they? What is the word? Grip.
Grip.
But
Yeah.
if you look at the way the truck is built, they have that flat back end. Then they have the ultra high spoiler that pushes the back end back onto the track.
Hmm.
That's why you don't see as many crazy nutsoid end over end flip Rusty Wallace 93 Talladega crashes or Ryan Preece ever in the last two seasons that you do on the truck series, because those trucks are built aerodynamically to stick to the track.
Hmm.
This year, I'm going to go with you. I'm gonna say Lane Riggs is going to be the class of the field. The other names you mentioned, yeah, I can buy it. But after watching Lane last year and hitching my wagon to Lane after Christian, our friend Christian Eckes, left the truck series, I can see Lane Riggs being your early championship contender. I don't want to go pull a Corey and say, oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be there. Christian is back on the truck series. He's going to be a contender. So now you have
Driving
two
the
spots.
91.
Right. And now you got two more. Those two are going to be the class of the field. Christian Eckes, Lane Riggs. You heard it here first.
Yep. And also, don't forget, Tyler Tomasi is on the entry list. He'll be driving the 69 truck for MBM Motorsports.
Good for him. And we'll
Yes.
get him back on the show. He was here during the off season, and what
Yes.
a great kid. Just a nice guy.
Yeah.
When you introduced me to him in New Hampshire a couple years ago, I was like, all right, here's a kid. He's trying to work his way through the system and do his thing. And now when I look at him and doing the things that he's doing, when I reached out to him and said, dude, you got to come on the show, bro. Come on, please. And he's like, all right, I'd love to talk about it. That's what we're here for. The young guns. We love the young guns, unless their name is Ty Gibbs, and then you can go, do something in the corner that is inappropriate.
Right.
Because Ty Gibbs is a Nepo baby. Tyler Tomasi came up the right way. Ryan Preece came up the right way. Our friend Christian Eckes came up the right way. No Nepo babies involved.
Nepo.
You know what that means, right?
Not really.
A Nepo baby is someone who has a family member who is powerful and gives you a job regardless of if you've earned it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nepotism, basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nepo baby. And that's
Yes.
Ty Gibbs. And I don't care who you are. I used to say that about Austin Dillon, who I'm not allowed to say bad things about. But Austin has showed that he can actually run these cars and do semi well.
You seen his paint scheme that he's driving this year?
The Kevin Harvick one.
Yeah, it
Yes.
looks exactly like the Good Wrench paint scheme, which I really love the most. I don't know who came up with that idea, but oh my goodness, spot on.
Don't care. When Kevin Harvick did his happy hour recently and showed that car, and he goes, "That's the car I ran in 2020, 2006, 2007 with the fins and all of that." I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that is gorgeous. And it's an RCR original. So yes,
Yeah.
he should run that. I still have an issue with him running the 3. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are giving me shit. Look, no one's worn Thurman Munson's number since he retired. No one has worn Larry Bird's number since he retired. No one has worn Tom Brady's number since he retired. No one should run that 3 except maybe Dale Jr. And potentially Kevin Harvick should have ran that 3 because he got in that car the week after. But it's not up to me. It's up to RCR.
Wasn't there a and I hate to cut you off on this, but like wasn't there an O'Reilly race at like Talladega like years ago when what was it? Jeffrey Earnhardt was running the 3 car that weekend, and I remember he ran that race, and I remember Larry McReynolds was the crew chief for that race, and they almost won that race, and then they finished second to Junior Motorsports' team, which of course Gregson ended up winning the race that day.
2021, maybe 22.
I want to say it was either like 22 or was it
23? Maybe. Bill Bingham's in the comment section. He said the race was garbage.
Yes.
Billy, join me on Sunday. Corey fagged out on me, man. You got to join me on Sunday.
Come on. Billy, everything he's saying, he's lying.
Benjamin, I am enjoying the stream, but it is a bit difficult to understand your accent perfectly. Benjamin, we understand. I don't know in Ghana if you get NASCAR, look it up on YouTube and join us. Keep joining us. Thank you. Oh my God, we're worldwide. It's so fast. Corey does talk fast. Yeah, I do too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, and also, by the way, Friday night, one driver that I'm also looking forward to seeing running this weekend. How about Travis Pastrana running the 42 truck this weekend?
It's going to be good to see him back. Lynch is in the comment section too. What's up, buddy? Billy, if you're still watching, Austin Reed Dillon is a wonderful human being, and I'm never allowed to say anything bad about him. That's because I don't want to get beaten.
Yeah. Oh, and also don't forget, Cletus is going to be driving the Ford truck Friday night. Cletus
Wait,
McFarland. Actually, what? No, not the Cletus, not the Cletus you're saying or you're thinking of. No, but Cletus McFarland, which of course that's his name that everybody goes by, and while his real name his real name is Garrett, but of course it's Cletus McFarland.
can you
And
bring up Benjamin's last comment? He's telling lies, right? No, he's not. I just bust Corey as often as I can because Corey's Corey, and that's our relationship. So
and he busts me too, so it's all good.
that's what I'm saying. Gina agrees. That's Billy in the comment section. Gina, see you Thursday around noontime.
Yeah.
And don't tell your husband. Billy, come to Daytona Sunday. Come to the Mark Man Cave. Have some fun. Eat some tacos. Please, I'm begging you. This is me begging you on my hands and knees. You promised Mark you would come to the asylum. Please come join us. Anyway, Corey's been there. Corey, tell him what it's like in the man cave.
Well, I will say this though, and I will say if Mark is watching this right now, hi, and I will say go Bears. And so anytime you walk in Mark's man cave, and the first time I ever went down to his man cave, I couldn't believe how much Bears like memorabilia he has, and I'm thinking to myself like, wow, either he's a big diehard Chicago Bears fan, or he just just loves the Bears in general. And don't get me wrong, I got no problem with the Bears whatsoever. I mean, hell, the '85 Bears, that's probably my favorite team. Well, even though I wasn't born in '85, but I'd say it was one of my favorite teams. With Jim McMahon and Steve McMichael and Walter Payton, and the list goes on and whatsoever. But no, it's always a fun time, with the man cave, and of course, dealing with Skip, which Skip is probably like the main event every time I go over to Mark's house. And I remember one time, what was it? There was one time when you and you and Skip, I think you guys were making a bet or something, and then I guess Skip won the bet. And I remember like once the race was over, Skip was like, "Yeah, give me my fucking money." I still get a kick about that, every time I think about it. And it's one of many like Skip memories that I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. Benjamin says, "Is there a way I could also stream like you guys?" Yes. Wow. Send your questions later. I want to visit your country, Benjamin. We'd love to have you join us from Ghana to America. Yes, please do. You could stream on YouTube. There's many platforms out there that you could reach out and grab, whether it's on your laptop or on your phone, that you could do live streaming. And because, first of all, Benjamin, hit the subscribe button. If you subscribe to us, I promise you, I will subscribe to you later on. Much like Chaka, who reaches out to us on Dysfunction Junction, who we hear from every couple of weeks. Chaka's hilarious.
Oh,
and
nice.
I subscribe to his channel. He's a party. What time is the race? 2 or 3? Give me a second, Billy. I'll let you know. I'm pretty sure it's 3 o'clock. However, I'm not entirely sure. The NASCAR app is messing with me. 2:30, which means the race will start at like 2:48, 2:50. So that's what NASCAR.com is telling me. Daytona International Speedway, Sunday, February 15th. By the way, that's Emma's 18th birthday. 2:30 p.m.
Nice.
My NASCAR baby. And she knows this.
Awesome.
Okay, watch this. Stat Boy.
Yes.
Emma was born on Friday, February 15th, 2008.
Yes.
The Daytona 500 went off on February 17th, 2008. Who won? Hands where I can see them. Who won the Daytona 500 in 2008?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because That was probably the only time I went to the Daytona 500 in person.
Wow.
Yep.
I was in a hospital. Sorry.
I was gonna say what happened, but never mind. But
Well, yeah, a baby came into the world, and then I went home.
all right. So okay, so that was the only time I went to the Daytona 500 in person. 50th running of the 500, by the way. And so I remember, and I was, and so listen to this story. So I was a Tony Stewart fan at the time, and
Okay.
that was probably the one race where Tony came close to winning the 500. And then the two Penske cars, Newman and Kurt Busch, drafted down the back straightaway, and then Kyle, the new teammate at the time, wasn't really drafting Tony until like right at the bitter end, and of course that was when Ryan Newman ended up winning the 500 that weekend.
That's right. And if I can find it, there's a picture of Emma, 2 days old, in like this little car seat type thing, sitting next to me, and she's all bundled up because it's February. And, obviously we had heat. We're not destitute, but she had her little gimmick cap on, and she had the little thing so she doesn't scratch herself on her hands. But I made it a point to tuck a Kevin Harvick t-shirt around her as a blanket. I heard rain is in the forecast. Happy birthday, Emma Burns. Well, I will pass that along. Thank you, Billy. But yeah, I don't can't wait for Tony in the truck race. We were just talking about that. Thank you, Billy. Billy,
Yeah.
join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. I swear to God, I will not bring the 31 belt over until you join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. I'm going to keep saying it. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. I'll buy the beer. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. I will. I don't know. I can't mow your lawn because you've already told me I can't mow your lawn. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. I'm going to do this all night long, Billy, until you agree. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday. Join us Sunday.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, as we wait for Schmoop to arrive, we can wax philosophically about the truck race. We can wax philosophically about the O'Reilly race, but the race everybody's looking forward to is the Daytona 500. And you said something early in the week when you put out a promo about William Byron potentially going three-peat in the Daytona 500. First question, has anybody ever three-peated as Daytona 500 champion?
No.
Okay. Why do you think, because you put that out there, I have to ask you, why do you think William Byron has a shot to three-peat as 2024, 2025, and potentially 2026 Daytona 500 champion?
See, the thing that kind of like makes me think about this is that, okay, we all know that Hendrick brings a pretty good car down at Daytona, and and every time like the Hendrick cars qualify, they either sit on the front row or one of them wins the pole whatsoever. So the thing I look about this is that, okay, so Byron wins the Daytona 500 in 2024, which of course that was his first win, and of
That
course
was the was that the rain delay, caution delay? That was when they deemed him the champion late.
yes, which of course that was when Ross Chastain tried to make that hellish 3-wide move, and then took himself out whatsoever, and then
before you go on, Billy, don't bring the goats. I'm just asking you to bring you and the missus and maybe Jacksonius Maximus, who, if I can say it right now, Jackson, slow down. They'll get the joke. Corey won't. That's okay. Just come join us. You promised. I'm tired of making. Just come fucking join us. Anyway, 2024 Daytona.
Yes. So 2024, Ross Chastain tries to make that exciting 3-wide pass, possibly for the win, and then he gets taken himself out. And then last year, big wreck behind behind Byron, and then of course, the race gets I don't know if they raced back to the line and there was no caution, but then yet again, Byron still won the race anyway. But
there was no caution back to the line because
right.
The crash happened at the apex of turn 3, and your top 12 to 15 cars
Mhm.
were already, making the break out of turn 4, there's no reason to throw a caution. You are
Right.
a half mile from the victory or what have you.
Right.
There's no reason to throw a caution.
Mhm. But anyway,
So
so the thing I look about this is that, all right, the only way that Byron is going to win the Daytona 500 for the third straight year in a row is if he's there at the end, and of course if he doesn't get caught up in the big wreck. I think that's probably a good possibility. But the other one that could possibly derail that chance is speeding, because of course you get caught speeding on pit road, or if something happens on pit road,
oh,
that could also derail your momentum.
if you remember last year, and I'm not trying to wave the flag and be a William Byron homer. Early in the race, stage 1, Byron got caught speeding on pit road.
Hmm.
And he was relegated to the back of the pack. But this is Daytona. You can go from 26th to 3rd in about 2 laps if you work the draft correctly, which we've
Hmm.
seen over the years. I'm going to throw a couple names out there that could potentially ruin William Byron's three-peat, and one of them is somebody you're going to expect, and 2 of them you're not going to expect. One of them is going to please Billy's wife because I don't want to get beaten about the head and neck. Denny Hamlin could ruin this chance for a three-peat because Denny
Hmm.
Hamlin, as we know, is phenomenal at Daytona.
Yep.
The second one is Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski last year on the Supers was a beast. And last year, seeing how many times he finished in the top 5, climbing, and didn't make it, we always say, if this race was 5 laps longer, but they're not. Don't count out Brad Keselowski. But the other one is someone who's won at Daytona before, and that's Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon is a fantastic super speedway driver. And to count him out would be ridiculous. And I'll throw a fourth in there because I honestly think this would be the crowning achievement of his career, which I don't think he's done yet. Corey will correct me if I'm wrong. Watch the 8 of Kyle Busch.
Mm.
As much as I dislike Kyle Busch, I think he's looking for that stamp, that one thing. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. We know this. Did they change the point system yet? Billy, they did. They're going back to the old chase system. How many drivers are in the chase system? Corey, explain this to Billy.
Okay, so it's 16 for Cup, and then it's 12 for 12 for O'Reilly, and then 10 for the Craftsman trucks.
I got a deal for you. Every
Yep.
time you say Xfinity this year, you give Braylon $1.
Oh, oh Jesus!
If I'm going to be caught out for cussing, you're going to get caught out for Xfinity.
All right,
All right.
All
Done.
right. Yes, but I will say this though. One guy that you might also want to keep an eye out on Sunday as well is pretty much Corey LaJoy running the 99 car for the RFK car. I mean the 4th RFK car. And again, we've seen how Corey's run on the super speedways. I mean, look at what he did last year at Daytona when he was driving the 01 car. And I'm looking at this going like, when was the last time he's ever been this competitive? It's ridiculous. But then yet again, now that he's driving an RFK car, I mean, he could have a good chance at not only getting a good starting spot on Sunday, but he could possibly be that one that I wouldn't count him out to win the race this weekend. And not only him, but we've seen how the Fords have done on the super speedways the last couple of years, and I would probably say the Penske's I think are going to be a one to watch this weekend. I mean, we've seen how Blaney has done on the super speedways in recent years. Same goes for Austin Cindric, and not to mention, I also want to point this out too. Um, definitely Chase Elliott. I mean, Chase Elliott will be one that of course, he's never won the 500 before, but I'm sure he'll be a one that could be a contender for the win. But I also want to go to
Yep.
Kyle Busch as well, which just so that everybody knows, This is
Billy,
Kyle
I'll get
Busch.
to your comment in a second. Billy, I'll get to your comment in a second. Go ahead.
So, just so everybody knows, this is Kyle Busch's 21st try to win the Daytona 500. And we all remember when it took Dale Earnhardt 20 attempts to win the Daytona 500. Now, keep this in mind, the year before, he was on a 1-year winless drought. And, first year working for Larry McReynolds, and that was 1997. They went winless. They had the one race where Earnhardt passed out in the car during the Southern 500, and that was unusual and whatever. And then the year later, goes back and wins the 500. Now you look at Kyle Busch's situation where he's on a 2-year winless drought, and for a guy that's won 200 plus races in all 3 divisions, but never has won the 500, sure, I guess you could say it's kind of surprised me. But then you look at all the other drivers that have won, championships over the years that have never won a Daytona 500. I mean, Tony Stewart comes to mind. Rusty Wallace comes to mind as well. Unfortunately, and
Yeah.
but
Mark Martin.
but Mark Martin, well, not only he's not won a championship, but never won the Daytona 500.
Exactly.
But let me just say this though, not only it's hard to pick a winner for Daytona. I mean, I would literally just bet the field, on whatever happens. But again,
That's a
it's
safe
hard
bet.
to it's hard to win the 500. It's hard to repeat it, but hopefully this weekend, we'll have the best racing, there is, and hopefully, it'll be intense, right to the end, and we'll see how it all goes. And I will say this for Billy Bingham, which I will say, so funny, funny, Bill. You mentioned about Ryan Preece, and I kind of
dear God, here it
and
comes.
I thought about this. I probably say after Preece won the Clash race the other night. So I said, wouldn't it be a great redemption story if Preece goes to Daytona after he's flipped numerous times over the last few years, comes back and wins the 500? I mean, it'd be a really good feel-good story. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a great point, because you look at the last 2 years of Ryan Preece's career, the tumbles at Daytona, at Talladega, that would be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Preece showed in Daytona he could get it done, but then the crash. Preece showed he could get it done at Talladega, except the crash.
Mm-hmm.
That car stays on 4 wheels. Ryan Preece is a contender.
Yep.
1,000%. No arguments here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Billy, for that.
Yeah, definitely for that comment. Thank you.
Billy, get your ass to the house on Sunday. Don't make me beg. Sunday.
Come on Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Corey'd be there, except he's got like his Hello Kitty reunion and bunch of other stuff.
It's a one time thing a year that I got to do, and nothing too fancy and nothing personal, whatever. But
did I mention I won at Billy's house the funniest costume of 2025?
Nice.
Because I dressed as, and I quote, "I believe in Joe Hendry, and I believe in the schmoopy." Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. She is from Braylon's Picks. She is the queen. I'm sorry, the princess of Pit Road.
No, queen.
She is the queen of making picks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the one and only Braylon. Hey, quick question. We haven't said a word about this all episode. I'm not disparaging your team or Corey's team. That was the worst Super Bowl I ever watched in the history of my life, and I'm 117 years old. That was the worst Super Bowl of all time.
I agree.
And I'm sorry, I was rooting for your team. And she doesn't care. She's frozen.
Yeah. No, but I will say I did watch the game on Sunday, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, it was just garbage. The whole entire series. Like, I mean, when they were up like 9-0, I thought, okay, it's a one-score game. Patriots could score the touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, whatever. But it was pretty much after, during the second half, I said to myself, yeah, looks like this is going to be all Seattle's
Yeah.
game whatsoever. But it's funny you mentioned that, though, because this is the second time that the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl in dominant fashion. Because remember what happened in 2013 when not only they beat the Broncos badly, and sorry, Herm, if I ended up mentioning that, but that was probably Peyton Manning's, worst game of his career and whatnot.
Truth. Billy, to your point, Corey can't be there.
Unfortunately, I can't.
Your fat ass will be there. You will
Billy,
be there.
I just want to say I missed you.
All right. Well, then, we'll just have to make that happen to put you guys in the same room. Billy, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Be there Sunday. Be there Sunday. I can't do this alone. Be there Sunday.
And
anyway.
Anyways, just to make Gina happy on this, I definitely would be really happy if Austin Dillon wins the race on Sunday.
I said the same thing. Why are you taking my thunder?
Especially driving that paint scheme, which I really adore,
Agreed. So while we wait for Schmoop to come back, we'll talk more about Daytona. And Billy, if you're still here, tell me, who do you think? I know he said, where is it? My pick is Preece and Elliott. Okay, fair enough. That's great points both the ways around. It's not a homer pick. And I know people are going to be like, well, Chris, you're just picking your favorite driver. He's won the last two. I always want my favorite to win, but I'm going to be objective. I honestly think that William Byron could be the first to ever three-peat at Daytona. We've had, back-to-back. Sterling Marlin is the most recent that I can remember.
Yeah.
Corey will obviously correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you're correct. You're correct.
Okay. The beautiful thing about Daytona and Talladega is we always say the biggest crapshoot on the schedule. You've had luminaries, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, go down the list, that have won this race.
See me?
We can't see you, but we can hear you, Schmoop. Corey, Gina says thumbs up. Good job by you. Schmoop.
Thank you.
We're talking about Daytona 500, and without saying the name Chase Briscoe,
What?
even though you're going to say Chase Briscoe, who do you think is the odds-on favorite to win on Sunday?
Preece.
Really? That's like the third mention of Preece as the winner. That's awesome. Why do you think that?
Hold on. I was trying to bring it to my iPad, but now I have to bring it back to my phone because you guys can't see me.
We cannot see you. Nope. Still can't see you.
What is Corey doing?
Corey's doing Corey things. Leave him
I'm being
alone.
weird.
Schmoop, we have a new deal. Oh, we'll wait till she comes back. Good granny.
Yes,
Hey!
yes, he is.
Okay, Schmoop, we have a new deal for you to make money.
What?
This year, now that the Xfinity Series has become the O'Reilly Series, every time Corey says Xfinity, he owes you $1. Much
true.
like every time I cuss while you're here, I owe you $1. So right now, Schmoop is at $22 that she's going to expect in July in New Hampshire.
I
Don't
thought
you
it was
mean August?
August, sorry. My bad. Peak season. That boardwalk is going to be phenomenal. And by the way, and Dad have to come to the hotel, and we're going to sit by the pool, and you can swim, and we're going to drink beer, and you're going to have a fantastic time. But you have to come visit us this year.
And we got to party.
That's right. And we're going to put the sign out on the fence. It's a schmoop party. Get your ass here. Oh, shit. That's
Oh.
$24. All right. You're already in the positive, kid. So tell me, you picked Ryan Preece. We watched in the last couple super speedway races where Ryan Preece is competitive. He's in the top 5. He's in the top 3. And then, oh no, the car goes upside down. Do you think this is the year that Ryan Preece keeps all 4 tires on the ground and can do wonderful things at either Daytona or Talladega?
Yes, the way he raced at Bowman Gray was phenomenal.
Thanks, Andrew. Schmuck.
The way he raced at Bowman Gray was incredible. That my dad told me that track is really hard to win at.
Yep.
Because it's like a short track. So, I think that since he won that, I feel like he's gonna have a better chance at winning more races this year because once he won that race, I think he now has the car situated, and it's just gonna be easier for him to keep going.
Now, come summer, have you decided who you're gonna hunt down on pit lane in New Hampshire to do your picks?
I'm doing them with Briscoe again.
You got to mix it up, kid. You did Briscoe last year. You did Byron the year before. You got to mix it up. I have an idea. Since you're speaking so highly of Ryan Preece, maybe you hunt down Ryan Preece.
I was thinking about that, but I also wanted to do Zilich.
Zilich wouldn't be a bad idea.
But I also want to
She
do
wants her
Briscoe
$2. Can you put up that comment, Corey? She wants her $2, dude. She wants her $24. I've got a running theme right here. Watch this. I'll give her an extra one. Shit. See, there's 25. What is with those big bug eyes?
Right.
We are going to have to, in the next couple weeks, decide what is an actual cuss word and what isn't, because I don't think the A word or the S word is a cuss word, but
the B word isn't. It's in the dictionary.
Yes, it is. So is the A word and the S word.
The S word isn't.
Really?
No.
All right. Fair enough. You make sure between you, mom, and dad, you send me a list of what is not cuss words, and I'll avoid those. She can buy a shirt now. No, she needs $10 more. Drew, thank you. Drew was on Dysfunction Junction earlier, and I wanna run this by the panel because he's like, I don't know who William Byron is. William Byron being a 2-time Daytona 500 champion and a championship contender in the last 2 years. Starting with Corey, and then we'll go to Schmoop. Why should Drew, going forward, who is going to get back into NASCAR, know the name William Byron?
So, not only, he started off, racing in iRacing or whatever, which, a lot of drivers now do nowadays. But, you've watched him go up through the ranks. I mean, this kid's won in almost everything, Arca, Trucks, O'Reilly, Cup, you name it. And the fact that
I shared before you go on, I shared a video of one of our first 5 episodes where you and I in 2017 were saying that William Byron is going to be the future of NASCAR as he was dominating the Truck Series.
Right. Which of course he was driving for Kyle Busch at the time, when he had his Truck Series team and so forth. But so
nobody cares.
So if you think about it, of course, William driving for Hendrick Motorsports, and we've all seen, what Hendrick Motorsports has done over the years. I mean, they've won 250 plus races, Daytona 500s, Brickyard 400s, championships, races, whatever. And you think of all the list of drivers who have won over the years: Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Terry Labonte, Kyle Busch, which of course he did win a few races for Rick Hendrick at the time. And then of course you also had Darrell Waltrip, who drove in the 17 car for a couple of years, and then you also had Jeff Bodine, who drove the 5 car, which obviously, by the way, Jeff Bodine, was the driver that did start, for the Rick Hendrick team, back in the early 80s and got their first win ever for the Hendrick Motorsports team to what it is now. And not only, with William Byron driving the iconic 24, sure, he hasn't, well, I know like, there's times where like he's dominant like in the early part of the season, but then like mid part of the season he kind of hits a wall. But I don't know. We'll just see how he does this year, and if he does pull off that three-peat, I'll be happy. But other than that, William Byron is one that, he's a good consistent driver, but then yet again, I wouldn't say he's hard. I wouldn't say he's hateable, but he's a likable guy.
No, he's one of those guys that you look at and you go, God, I want that guy to do good. Much like Ryan Blaney, much like if I'm speaking of the young guns, Ryan Blaney. What do we got here? Does that mean for Kyle Busch? Great shirt. No, I'm not going to say the word out loud. You know what? I'll give Schmoop another $1. Hold on. I'm just going to cross this out right here. I'm going to put 26. I'm going to bring the shirt back. This shirt means fuck Kyle Busch. That's what that means. Anyway, Schmoop, you're up to $26. Now you can buy a hat. Look at you. Anyway, when it comes to William Byron, we've seen what he can do on speedways. We've seen what he can do on intermediates. We've seen what he can do on short tracks. Always in contention. I don't choose my drivers willy-nilly except for Kevin Harvick. That's another story for another time. That was circumstance by and large Jones. But
wait, guys.
Yes.
Yep.
Can you real quick, because I'm going to send myself the video of me doing my picks with William Byron so I can show it on the screen so he can see.
Send it to me and I'll send it to Drew because he's a friend of mine.
On Instagram?
Yes, send it to me on IG and I'll send it to Drew and he can see you with William Byron.
Speedway review or your normal?
My normal.
Okay.
Which is abnormal. Seaburns 19.
Yep, sent it.
All right, cool. Drew, you're going to see Schmoop do her picks with William Byron 2 years ago in the pit area of New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So, great call. Awesome. You're welcome, kid. LOL. Good God. Stop it. We've seen what he can do on all sorts of different tracks. And the first year he won the 500, it was, at the time controversial, but the second time he crossed the line first. Both times he crossed the line first, but it was without controversy. This year, knowing what I know about William and the 2014, I can see him winning. My other picks, I'm going to go to Schmoop. I'm going to go with Preece as well. And if you're going to give me we used to do something on this show called a lock, a hopeful, and a sleeper. My lock is William Byron. My hopeful is Preece. My sleeper shouldn't be a sleeper. It's the reigning and defending heavyweight champion of the world, Kyle Larson. So, Corey, we're going old school tonight.
Yes.
For Daytona 500, your lock, your hopeful, and your sleeper. Go.
All right. So this one might be a little bit surprising to some people, but my lock, I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. And one of the Fords that I think are going to be the ones to beat. Definitely, I could see that Penske car, getting that win for the captain, and of course winning the 500 and everything else that goes with it too. My sleeper, you know what? My sleeper, I'm going to go with Ross Chastain. I think this is a guy that could make something exciting. Which of course, he did win the 600 last year.
What are you doing?
What is that anyway?
That's her breather, so she doesn't have like COPD.
No, it's
or
a
whatever.
Nito ice squishy, but it popped on me.
Oh, rock and roll. All right.
Good squishy.
Look.
That's good squishy.
I'm also
Continue, Corey.
Okay, so my lock is going to be Ryan Blaney. My sleeper will be Ross Chastain, and my hopeful. Oh my goodness, I do
Preece.
want to. No, I do want to say I do want to say the field, which that's kind of not what I'm.
Corey.
But listen, but hear me out. That's probably not what I'm going to do. But if I had to pick a hopeful, and this one's going to be hard to choose. But if I had to pick a
Cody
hopeful,
Ware.
no,
James K. Polk.
whoever
Bob
that
Backlund, the 11th president of the United States.
is. Well,
Barack Obama.
He could win. Put him in the right car. Barack
Donald
Obama could
Trump.
win that race.
Donald Trump.
Trump couldn't win that race.
George
We're not talking about
Washington.
politics. I think
Abraham
George
Lincoln.
Washington could win. I cannot tell a lie.
right.
Stop, Corey.
Okay, so my hopeful, and this one's going to be a little bit hard. This one's hard to choose, but I'm going to go with the 99 of Corey LaJoy.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Braylon, the queen of picks,
Okay.
the princess of pit road, your lock to win, your hopeful to win, and your sleeper to win.
So my lock is obviously gonna be Preece.
Okay.
My what's the next one? Hopeful.
Your sleeper.
My sleeper is gonna be
Cody Ware. John Hunter.
Actually I was gonna say that.
Were you really? I got somebody on my side.
John Hunter, Nemechek, and then my hopeful Chase Elliott.
Say his name. Oh, I thought you were going to say the other Chase. Say his name and he appears.
Chase Briscoe.
There you go. I'll
No,
buy
but
that.
I
Yes,
picked Chase
Corey.
Elliott instead of Chase Briscoe.
So, quick
Okay.
question. Anybody following the Nancy Guthrie story?
I'd really rather not go into that, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
So-
nuts.
Mom,
I
are
just
you watching the Nancy Duck
so
thingy story?
Here we go. We're going to have Dorothy on here in about 30 seconds.
Wait, what is it called? What is it called?
the
Nancy
Guthrie.
Guthrie.
Real quick, I just want to point this out. They have the person in custody.
Do they really?
Yep.
Who?
That's fantastic.
It
Bob
doesn't
Backlund.
say it. Yeah, it doesn't say, but it says person in custody related to the Nancy Guthrie case.
Mama,
That's
do you know
all.
the Nancy Guthrie case?
Guthrie.
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 Good.
Yeah,
Good
the person that's related to them is in custody. She said the sister.
I don't know. Corey
Doesn't
broke the story.
doesn't say, but
My mom said the sister. It
Probably.
said it didn't say.
probably more information will come out, but that's pretty much all I know.
They're not a sponsor,
She
but
had a feeling it was somebody in the family.
so did I. Subscribe
Yeah.
to Ground News. It's the only place you're going to get unbiased news and anywhere in the history of ever.
Yeah.
$6 a month. You're going to have a great time, and you'll be informed like me. Ground.news. It's an app, and enjoy. Look, we're a couple days away. We got the duels on Thursday.
Oh wait, I did do my hopeful.
You did.
Wait, I didn't say why I
Oh, my-
William Byron.
What do you want to say about William Byron, dear?
I had something to show y'all.
Oh, please show us.
Look at this fire photo.
I love that picture. I remember you guys sent me that. That was awesome. Drew, can you see
Corey.
that?
Yes.
Look.
Oh, that's
Looking.
awesome.
And she's dressed like me with the Raptor gimmick all the way around.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dad, like this guy posted it on like Dad's like Facebook thing
That's
or
awesome.
something, like in his comments.
There's a
'Cause he, like,
reason you're
took that.
here. There's a
Huh?
reason you're here. Because you are awesome. That's why. If I could go back and have another daughter, I would keep my original daughter, and I would have you be my other daughter.
That's nice.
I don't think my parents would let that happen though.
I don't care what they think. Except maybe Dorothy. She's got legal gimmicks that will stop me. Who is she
That's
with
William
again?
Byron. That was William Byron.
Yeah, that was William Byron in that picture, Drew.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video. Schmoop just sent it to me on Instagram. I'll send you her making her picks, not last year in New Hampshire, but 2 years
I don't
ago.
know if it will work though because my dad's account is private.
Give me a second. I'll go to my gimmick. Hold on. While we're on air, we're doing this on air. It doesn't matter what they think. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. You sent it to my Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't have it. I'm on my Instagram right now.
It's from me, not dad's account. From me.
Yeah, I got it. I still don't have anything. I got this person followed me. This person followed me. Nothing that says anybody shared anything with me. Hold on. Working on it.
Go to your messages.
You see me working the gimmick? It says message unavailable. This content may be deleted by its owner or hidden by their privacy settings.
Are you following my dad?
Oh my God.
Instagram?
I'm following everybody.
Hold on.
Good granny on earth.
I can send it to the Speedway one.
Please do. Maybe I'll see it. If not, Corey will send it to me. Anyway,
it said you saw it.
You know what? Let me go back. I'm going to do this right now so the schmoop of all schmoops can see it. It says, message unavailable. You see that right there? Is that all I got was Dad told me to send this to you since we passed Cracker Barrel. That was the last thing I saw. Drew, we'll get you the video. I
just sent it to the Speedway review one.
Okay, hold
Instagram.
on. I'm looking now. And I'm on the page and it's Hello.
I can't hear y'all.
Okay, hold on.
Why?
Let me open it. Whoa, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
What?
It was a different video. Okay, I can't share that. All right, I'll find it on Dad's Facebook page. I swear to God. And Drew, you'll have it. I swear. He's old. Give him a minute. Stop. When I open it, watch this. Well, okay, hold on. Timeout. Offsides clipping. You guys see the picture, right? It's Schmoop and William Byron, right?
That's the video.
Right. Now, when I open it, that's what I get is some goofy video. It's not you.
That's weird.
It is weird. But I've seen it. We've shared it. I will find it. That is my promise to Drew, and that is my promise to you, Schmoop Master Flash. And now we need to go.
We do?
Yes.
Yeah. Next week, we come back with all 3 series from Daytona, the opening of the 2026 season. We're going to have so much fun, and hopefully I'll be wearing this shirt again, and I'll buy a new shirt that says 3 Pete Jones. I'll make a shirt that says 3 Pete Jones. I don't care.
If he wins.
If he wins. I was going to say that, but you kind of blew it. Thank you very much. Schmoop, Braylon.
Yeah.
Princess of Pit Road. Any last words?
Bye.
No. Like any last words about the racing this weekend?
Oh, go Preece.
Okay, go Preece. Corey, any last words about the racing this weekend?
So I'm looking forward to Daytona this weekend, and of course, I'm looking forward to seeing who makes the 500. I know the duels. will be fun to watch. And not only matters on where you start, it's pretty much where you start and who makes the 500. So looking at the entry list, there's 45 cars on the list, and then I think there's I think 3 that probably go home after Thursday, whatever. But man, all I can just say is, NASCAR's finally back. I'm happy that, the racing season's finally back this year, and yeah, and looking forward to Daytona this weekend, and looking forward to seeing what 2026 will have to bring.
I had an opportunity on Sunday to talk to Joey Ternulo, our friend from Connecticut, who is a driver here in the New England area, and we are going to see Joey again on this show. We are going to see TJ Peters again on this show. We're going to rate 2020. What?
Or Cody Ware.
Where?
Or if you vote, go for Cody Ware.
Where?
Here.
Last place. I don't care who you root for. I hope you guys have a great 2026 season. We're going to start the fantasy points next week on the 17th. When
I
go ahead, say it.
When I go on.
Are you gonna go Top Flight Jones first week? You're gonna be the leader?
Yeah.
All right. Herm's gonna have something to say about that. By the way, did you send Herm his gimmick?
Mom, did you send Herm his thing? His mom said yeah.
Okay. I asked him tonight on the other show if he got it. He said he hadn't. But he did say he would let me know when he got it. We miss him. You miss him. We all miss him. However, get ready. The 2026 season is here. We are hot and live every single week from now until November. Get ready. Are you ready, Braylon?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Corey?
I'm so ready.
Are you guys out there ready? Because we are. Speedway Review. We're out. We'll see you next time. Braylon, do your thing.
Bye.
All right. See you all next week, everybody. Peace.